Hi everyone and welcome back. In this video, I want to share a simple but very important best practice when using Waikay's prompt tracking feature. Choosing the right prompts to track. Because when you're monitoring your brand visibility in AI models like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or Perplexity, the quality of the prompts you track makes a huge difference. The goal is not to track every possible question someone could ask. The goal is to track the kinds of prompts where an AI model is likely to recommend, compare, or mention brand names. That usually means focusing on top-of-the-funnel commercial discovery prompts. Let's take ClickUp as an example. ClickUp is a project management and productivity platform. So instead of tracking very broad or informational questions, a ClickUp user should track prompts that someone might ask when they are exploring solutions. For example, what are the best project management tools for remote teams? What are the best productivity platforms for startups? What tools can help teams manage tasks, docs, and workflows in one place? What are the best alternatives to Asana or Monday.com? What software should a marketing team use to manage projects and deadlines? These are strong prompts because they naturally invite the AI model to return a list of tools, platforms, or brand recommendations. And that's exactly where brand visibility matters. If ClickUp appears in these answers, that's useful. If competitors appear but ClickUp doesn't, that's also useful because it shows a visibility gap. Now compare that with prompts that are too generic or too educational. For example, what is project management? How do I become more productive? What is task management? How can I organize my work better? What is remote collaboration? These prompts can still be useful from a content strategy perspective, but they may not always return brand names. The AI model might simply explain the concept instead of recommending tools. So if you track too many of these generic prompts, you may end up with reports that don't tell you much about your competitive AI visibility. A good rule of thumb is this. Ask yourself, would a real buyer expect to see a list of tools, platforms, or providers in the answer? If the answer is yes, it's probably a good prompt to track. If the answer is no, it may be better suited for content research, not prompt tracking. Another useful approach is to think in terms of buyer situations. For ClickUp, that could include a startup looking for a project management tool, a remote team looking for better collaboration software, a marketing team comparing workflow platforms, a company looking for an alternative to Notion, Asana, Trello, or Monday.com. Each of these situations can become a prompt. For example, what are the best collaboration tools for remote teams? What are the top workflow management tools for marketing teams? What are the best Notion alternatives for managing projects? What are the best tools for combining tasks, documents, and team communication? These prompts are specific enough to be meaningful, but broad enough to give AI models room to mention multiple brands. That balance is important. You don't want prompts that are too branded, like, is ClickUp a good project management tool? Because of course the answer is already centered on ClickUp. And you don't want prompts that are too broad, like, what is productivity? Because that may not trigger any brand recommendations at all. The sweet spot is somewhere in the middle. Prompts that represent real discovery moments where your brand and your competitors could be recommended. Waikay can then help you monitor which brands appear, how often they appear, which competitors are being recommended, and where your brand is missing from the conversation. So, to summarize, track prompts that are likely to return brand names. Focus on top-of-the-funnel discovery and comparison queries. Avoid prompts that are too generic or purely educational. Use real buyer situations to guide your prompt ideas. And finally, keep reviewing and refining your prompts over time. AI visibility is not just about whether your brand appears once. It's about understanding the topics, use cases, and buying moments where AI models associate your brand with a solution. That's where prompt tracking becomes really powerful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.